Well, hello and good morning, everyone, and welcome to Learn How to Build an Online Business, an online tutoring business, especially. Yes, you probably saw the publication. This was supposed to start at 8:45 p.m., but then I got a notice that this was supposed to start at 8:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But you know what? God put it in my spirit. He said, go ahead, keep moving. If you're going to do it, maybe you're going to do it twice, Audrey. You never know who you're going to reach out at this point in this time. So, as you could probably tell, I'm in two different places. I am going live right now on TikTok, also on LinkedIn. We have Facebook. We also have a little bit of YouTube. So, come on in. Hello, Jamie. Hello, everyone, and good morning. So, if you're wondering who is this crazy woman, my name is Audrey Codner, and I'm the owner of ACG Math Tutoring. And I've been a classroom teacher prior to all this. And the last 4 years, I've been tutoring online and loving it. Definitely not going back. Definitely not going back. All the trials and tribulations. Thank you so much for everyone that's coming in. So, this live is for people, especially if you're currently a tutor and you just want to get reorganized and revamped with your business. This is the live for you. If you're a teacher, are you cutting school? Because really, you should not be listening. You should, but if anything, you're probably watching the replay. And if you are a current teacher, go ahead and put in the chat, you know, why you're here. What is it? How are you feeling? Welcoming in. I'm getting all you guys coming in. Thank you so much. But if you are a current teacher that basically needs a change in a career, you're like, I'm done. I'm tired. These people are about to make me crazy. They make me feel like I'm losing my mind. This is the live for you. If you are a tutor that or a teacher that's just basically saying, you know what? I have all these skills. I have gone through so many professional developments. I have done so many things, but I want to move on. But are all the things that I've learned transferable? Are they really something that I can actually do and be able to make a career and be able to get that time and attention that I need for myself and for my family? Can I get that back? And still be able to not only pay my bills, be able to save up what I need to save up, be able to go to where I need to go. This is the life for you. I did it 4 years ago. And like I said, I am not going back. So please put it into the chat. I see people jumping in on TikTok that's coming in. Thank you so much for joining in, taking a look. But if you want to learn how to do that online tutoring and you need that support, this is the live for you. So for those that are tutors, go ahead and put in the chat, put your business in there. Remember, these are people coming in and coming out. So this might be an opportunity to share who you are with other people. You never know who's going to be in here. And if you are a teacher, tell me how you're feeling right now about thinking about making this transition. You can give me a thumbs up. You can give me a thumbs down. You can give me one of these. So no one knows exactly how to feel. But go ahead and just put like some interaction. This is not just me sitting here hammering on. I really want to get to know and see and feel how you guys are doing. So right now we got Kathy. Hey, Kathy. Was it really 4 years ago? Yes, Kathy. 4 years ago. I can't believe time is going. Like, look at it right now. We're in the middle of April. I just remember doing April Fool's Gap not too long ago. So now we're like in the middle of April with all this. But as you're doing this, and I'm not seeing too many, go ahead, put your names in the chat. And thank you, Denise, for joining in. I see like there's a lot of people coming in, coming out. Um, and if anything, we have like Glory G Mom, and then we have Fulfilling, and then we have Miss Sarah who's coming in here, Miss Denise who's coming in here. Thank you so much. And then we have Lucinda. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you for being here. So, as we progress with this whole thing, yes, okay, happyteachers.com. So, if you guys have, especially a child that has special needs and you need some more assistance, definitely reach out to Kathy Cosno. She's at myhappyteacher.com. All right, definitely have an online tutoring agency that specializes in teaching students that have dyslexia to read. So if that sounds like something that you are like, you know what? She might be my saving grace to help save my child. Make sure you reach out to Kathy. So she definitely has that. Thank you. All right. So we have a couple of the people. We have Charles Clark. We have Nola. If you guys are new to tutoring, but you really want to know how to get it done, go ahead. Please share the live. Go ahead and tap the screen, especially if you're on TikTok. And we just want to get things done. All right. So on to it. If you want to know how to do this, it is possible for you to do this. And I know a lot of people, the first thing will say, I want to do it. I want to jump. I need to get out of this classroom. I need a change. And it's like, I want to know, is this going to be beneficial to me? Am I able to get it all done? And to be the truth, I see so many Facebook posts. There is so many groups out there that, sorry, all of a sudden things are flashing on my screen. Okay. So there is so many Facebook groups out there for teachers that are disgruntled. And they have tens of thousands of teachers on there that are just like, I can't take it. My admin is doing this. The district has just cut that off. All of a sudden, they want to get rid of me so they can get 3 or 4 more teachers. I feel like I'm being pushed out. I feel like I'm being bullied. All of that. Right. So, for the most part, like, there is tons of people that want to make the move. And I'm not telling people to just up and jump. That's up to you. So my whole thing is, if you want to leave for whatever reason, hello, Miss Linda. So one of the main concerns that they have is not necessarily the money. Because a lot of teachers, what they knew right from the very beginning, that you're not going to get paid a lot to be a teacher. But they're just worried mostly because, are those skills that they're learning transferable? Like, am I just learning all of this? Hey, Cookie, are they just learning all of this for what? Is it just for me just to be a teacher? And then a lot of people just have to understand that, guess what? You wear a lot of hats. As a teacher, you're not only just an educator or the teacher of record, you're also a counselor. You're also a person that can put events on. You're also out there trying to push for these kids to want to advance, especially like in the city schools, because I taught in the county and I taught in the city. And I just feel like when people say that you're a city kid, they automatically put a stigma on you. And then we as teachers, we're always just like, look at all the talent that's coming in and out of these schools. Look at all the things that is happening. So a lot of people think that, okay, I only know how to teach math. But you had to learn how to take basically paper plates, magnets, and all kinds of things. I felt like I was MacGyver when I was in the classroom, because I had to like come up with things to make it inventive, because I didn't have a lot of money to pay for all these great gadgets that people had, or ETSA or ETS was all putting out for testing. I didn't have money for all those manipulatives. So I had to go to my local Dollar Tree. I can't even speak anymore. Um, to get all these items and just basically recreate it, or have the kids recreate it. So it just seems like you're sitting there saying that I'm just a teacher. You're making yourself one dimensional, and you're not one dimensional, not at all. So when you are thinking about making this transition, a lot of people don't want to leave, but they feel like they have to leave. And that's the one thing I do like what Kathy said. You know, she did, and she's been traveling and working wherever I go. Just this school year, I've been to Ireland and to Italy. I've seen the pictures. Fabulous. Myrtle Beach, Disney. She's traveling. So when we were teachers in the classroom, we really couldn't move. We were in these same 4 walls. But now we're thinking about other things to do that venture, to do that expansion. So by doing this, you're using your skill set, you're using your knowledge, you're using your time, you're using your experiences to help develop a person. And for me, I don't just tutor in my state of Maryland, which looks like it's about to rain terribly. I also tutor in Florida, California. I was in California last night. Where else was I last night? I was in California. I was in Maryland. I was in Washington State. And then earlier this morning, I was in Cairo, Egypt. And then years ago, I used to be in Nairobi, Kenya. So I'm traveling and I'm helping people with their math skills. I'm boosting up their math skills. And that was the whole premise. I'm using my God given gift of breaking down concepts, using my voice, having encouragement to build my students up, not only with their confidence with the content, but at the same time, being able to carry it over into their real life situation. Try to figure things out. Not when, oh, when things get tough, I'm going to stop and I'm going to sulk. Really learn how to figure things out. So it's almost like when I used to work in the school and I had to wear many hats and it almost damn near killed me. I had a very brief stroke. I'm being as transparent with everybody and trying to keep everything together. Um, One year I was just overworking myself. The kids wanted to do a talent show. And then I had to deal with classes. I had to deal with my parents. I had to deal with my husband at the time. I had to deal with so many different things. And then now I had to do a talent show and I had to organize all the kids and get all the props and clean up the auditorium. And the very next day I had class, my first period class. I had to stop. Next thing you know, I had shooting pain up my left arm. And I felt like I was about to pass out. Took myself to the hospital because I'm a crazy person. And they said, your blood pressure is high. And medical people don't ask you what you do. They just say your blood pressure is high. You need all this medication and all this stuff. And all of a sudden I stopped and told them, hey, I'm a teacher. And like, oh. And I'm like, I'm a high school teacher. They're like, oh. I'm like, does it all make sense now? Because sometimes people don't understand that being a teacher, you have different stresses. It's not just like, oh, you get to chill during the summer. No, we get to go through so much. And if you know that your child is a little baddie, try to multiply that by 40, and then you understand why our life is a little chaotic. And this is why we want to leave the classroom and we can't really do it. So, as we're doing all this, if a lot of this just like, you know what, this sounds so much like me, go ahead, put yes in the chat. So, I really want you to understand that you have options as an educator. You have options. And by looking at what you want to do, even though I could have easily said, I'm out, I'm done, I'm not doing this anymore, and probably did something else with my life. Instead, I was like, I still want to work with kids. Like, yes, it felt bad that I had to leave my kids behind. Yes, thank you. That it does make you feel bad that you feel like you're leaving your kids behind. But if you're not here anymore, they're going to find someone else to replace you. That's how the system is going. Once person's in, person's out. Let's go. We already got tons of applications. We could easily put somebody in, just like working at McDonald's. You think, oh, I'm going to leave and they're going to miss me. No, they're not. A lot of students used to think that, like, oh, yeah, I'm going to leave. I'm going to walk out. Go ahead. You don't think they have a stack of applications for another person to come and take your place? So I didn't want that. And then last week, I talked about a friend of mine who died 2 months before her retirement. I still live with that. I don't want to just exist in this world. I want to actually plant some kind of seed and want to actually do some movement. And for me, it's education. I love to teach. I love when the kids like sit there and all of a sudden they get this bright look in their face and they're like, oh, this is so great. So, this is what I also want from you. Taking that step, a lot of people will say, Audrey, how did you do it? Like, how did you leave the classroom? I took one foot in front of the other and I walked out. But at the same time, the pandemic helped. I think the pandemic and the passing of my father was a combination of I needed to make a change. That was my wake up call. I had to do something different. And what was that something different? I don't want to be behind these walls anymore. How can I educate kids? And just like saying, when you're online, you can be anywhere. You don't have to. And I love what Kathy says, you don't have to compete with other people. Not at all. So, hey, Gabby, how you doing? Laura, how's it going? So it just seems like you don't have to stay in the four walls to feel like you're an educator, you're a teacher. You can teach, you can educate anytime that you want, anywhere that you want. And that's where this whole teaching online kind of comes in. But then the main reason why you're here is you're basically wanting to know, hey, how do I get started? Where do I get started? Hey, Joker. Um, where do I get started? How do I go? Like, how do I make money? Do I keep my same insurance? Like, your insurance is going to be different. Like, if you're used to having $200 taken out of your account for your insurance, that bad boy is going to go up as soon as you leave. Okay. So, how do you make those adjustments? Like, and you worry about, am I going to make money? How do I work social media? That's another thing, especially with my seasoned teachers. Like, we're so used to just teaching the way we did. Got binders, we got our photocopies, let us go, right? But now everything's changed. A lot more is electronic. And it's kind of like, how do you do that? How do you find your motivation when you constantly hear the word no and you get a few yes here and there? So, if those are things that kind of like reach out to you, it's just like, yeah, or it does sound familiar to me. Because really, as people, all you really need is three things. Hello, sir. Okay. All you need is three things. And like right now, for people that are on TikTok, I'm not battling. If you want to battle, I'm so sorry. But if you want to listen, you can listen. This is really, thank you. This is really for people that want to learn how to start an online tutoring business. So, because if you do, there's only three things that people want. They want coaching, they want direction, and they want community. So the coaching part, they want someone to guide them through. They really want someone that's going to work with them that knows the stuff. I mean, I've done some programs. Some are really good. Some of them, I don't know. But some of them, they're all just like, yeah, we're going to take you on a journey. And then you get in the car and it's almost like they're pretending that they're driving. You know, like how kids are like, oh, look, we're driving, we're going, and we're not going anywhere. Some of the programs I felt that way. Like, okay, we're about to STEM. And you're like, okay, so how do I get started? Like, you're throwing a lot of information out, but you're not telling me how. And they're like, oh, yeah, well, you can do that if you do this program, this program, this program. And that means $1,000, $1,000, $10,000. And yeah, and it adds up. And I'm still not started yet. So then for the direction, that's more like I want someone that's going to say, this is your path. This is your ecosystem. This is how things are done. And then you can figure out how you want to kind of finagle. How do you want to venture with it? So having that direction, now I can say, all right, this is supposed to be a commonplace. Okay, a lot of people go through this problem, but I'm not by myself. Hence the community. By having other people that are going through the same process, the same growing pains, the same progression, maybe not in the same style, but the same progression. speaks volumes to people. So if that sounds like, you know what, I really would love that because I really want this whole thing called tutoring to work. I want to be able to leave my full time job and be comfortable with what I'm doing and be comfortable financially. And then have the time, if I want to take off, I could just take off and I don't have to do any subs. Okay. Kay is saying, what's for breakfast? Right now, I'm working on how to start your online tutoring business, and you can decide what you want to have for breakfast, right? So, if you are really interested to wanting to learn more about that, go ahead, hit me a smile emoji, put that into the chat. All right. So, if you're thinking, you know what, sounds so good so far, and I'm waiting for her to tell me how, but this is where I basically come in. So, if you're looking for someone that's going to give you the coaching, that's going to give you the direction and a community, just hit that smile into the chat. While you're doing that, I'm going to get a drink of water and listen to the trash man cometh and take all my garbage away. So, this is where I come in. So, if you're thinking of, hey, Gabby, if you're thinking of you want someone to actually walk you through the whole entire process. Okay. Thank you, Kathy. I greatly appreciate that because that's what I want to do. I want to help. And I feel like that's always my God given gift from the very beginning. I always put people first, which I love to do. But at the same time, I love breaking things down to people, like especially with my students. I break it down step by step. So if you're thinking of, I need someone that's going to coach me, I need someone that is going to give me that direction, and I need someone to do it in a step by step process, then you need to sign up for my membership called You Can Tutor. So You Can Tutor is very just simple, very easy. It's a community designed exclusively for tutors that want to take their tutoring business to the next level. So the next level might be just to get it started, but we're doing it at a self pace. That's what's making mine a little bit different from everyone else's. Some people have like 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks, right? And you go through the system and you're feeling like, and if this resonates with you, go ahead and put yes in here. But if you're feeling like you are rushing, you are like feeling like the pace is just so quick and you're just being overloaded because there's so much to learn, but you don't have enough time for it to marinate. You know when you get a nice steak, you don't want to just take it out of the package and just throw it on the grill. Like, no, sometimes you want to marinate it, get some flavor into it, give it a little time for it to rest. Okay. I just taught you a little cooking right there. But you want to give it a little time for it to kind of like, oh, that's why I'm doing this. Or, oh, that's why I need to sign up for Instagram. I should get an Instagram account. Oh, that's why I should get a Google business account. It used to be called Google My Business, but now it's just Google Business. Why should I get a Google business account? And that's a major story for me. When I first started 4 years ago, everyone's like, oh, yeah, that's what you need to do. But no one told me why. So I signed up and it just sat there. I didn't do anything with it. I didn't understand it. It was like a huge thing like a couple years ago that people were like, oh, if you want to be page one on Google, go ahead and just sign up for my services and I'll charge you $300 and you'll be guaranteed page one on Google Business. Yeah, that's not how it works. And like algorithms keep changing. So everything keeps changing, right? So when it comes down to doing these things, you just need somebody to tell you why you want to do it and actually show you how. So what I do on You Can Tutor, the membership, I have basically like 4 calls that happens throughout the whole month. One of them is a how-to call. So I actually walk you through a situation. Prime example, Google Business. How to set up your profile, why should you have a profile, and what will actually raise your appearance on Google just by being active on it. And when I do that, I walk people through and I set up their profiles. And at the end, they have a profile. Check. One less thing that they have to deal with. And they feel so much better about it. Then the other thing is I have what's called a collab workday where we designate some time. It's usually on a Saturday because you usually guys got crazy lives during the week. So on a Saturday, we'll sit, have a Q&A session. So we get to talk about what are some of your questions, what are some things that came up during the week. And then you work for 45 minutes for whatever you want to work on. Flyer, an email, social media post, whatever. And after that 45 minutes, you get to present what you were working on and what you need feedback on. Say, for instance, you did a flyer and you want to get feedback on that flyer. You'll get feedback that day like, oh, this is great. Change that color. Why is that in yellow? Can't see it. And then you make the changes and then you go on your day. You had time to spend with your business. You had someone to give you feedback and you got some guidance. And I also do like pull out rooms during that time if you have questions while you're doing it. Sounds like a great thing to me so far. And then the other thing is I bring in business people, business experts that will actually tell us about the business side of tutoring. The business side is like how you're going to deal with your money. So you need to have like a bookkeeper to kind of give you ideas of like what type of systems would work for you. Just because you like QuickBooks over here, another person might like Wave. And you're just like, so which one should I take? It's up to you because what do you feel comfortable with? So we're actually giving you some options and then you can figure out what is it that resonates for you. See? And then the last one, the fourth one, is I do what's called a member pick. So the members get to put their information in a poll and they get to pick what they want to do that particular week or that month. And it could be just like a social gathering, just to meet other tutors that are in the group, or even just to really just sit down, chill, relax, maybe have like a meet and greet. People may have a drink, maybe have some food, and just really get to talk. Because a lot of programs, you don't really get to talk. There's a lot of listening. There is a lot of business talking, but sometimes you just want to just sit and chill, like, yo, how was your day? How was your one client? Oh, this one client was this, or oh, I had an awesome client. I want to talk about it. Those are the things that you want to reach out for. Thank you so much for the likes. I really do appreciate it. Also, share the live if you want to. And I will be on again tonight at 8:45. Okay. So thank you. Thank you, Team Bear. So in addition to those four things, the how-to sessions, my collab work days, the business, interviews that I have with business people to share out, and also the free spell or the free square, we should call it, is I do like a couple of the courses. Almost I had a brain fart. We do a lot of the courses. So there are some things that I may just say, look, there's going to be some primary stuff that you need to know before you start promoting. A couple of things, I might as well just talk about it now. A couple of things is one, and this is the things that you're going to need in order to start a tutoring business. So maybe I'll hold off. Let me slow down a little bit. So there is going to be a couple things. So since you have the courses, that's one thing that I do. And then also, if you ever have a question, you can ask it. It's just like, hey, Audrey, I have a question. Are you free? Are you available? Yeah, what do you need? And then you ask the question. How many people do that? And sometimes, like, you don't need a whole production. You just want a question asked, like, hey, Audrey, should I do that sole proprietor or should I do the LLC? Which one will give me more benefits? And I'll just say, hey, there's a video. I did an interview with this great bookkeeper. She did this. Take a look at that. And if you need more further information, boom, because that question is definitely answered in that. Go ahead. But if it's more like, hey, Orchard, can you look at my flyer? Yeah, let me take a look. This is awesome. Or what's going on here? So we have those discussions, right? But in order for us to do that, you need to join the membership. But before I even talk a little bit further of that, let's get to what we're here for, right? Because plus, I got a tutoring session in a few minutes anyway. So the 5 things, and you might want to write these things down, and I am going to elaborate on them, but the very 5 things that you're going to need to start a tutoring business is 1, mindset. I know everyone talks about mindset 60 million times. I get it. I get it. But you have to have that change of mindset. You are no longer a teacher. You are no longer have to be a martyr to that classroom. You don't have to constantly sacrifice. Let's do it for the children. You don't have to do that anymore. Now you are the owner of your time. Now you are the owner of what is your financial goal and how you're going to achieve it. Now you are the person that is it, the person that you've been dreaming about becoming for a long time. So there's no more martyr mentality. Okay. If you get a client that you like, awesome, keep going. If you get a client and you know you are not the right fit, be a man or be a woman to call, whatever we want to say, to get in touch with that parent and just say, I don't think we're a good fit. Because those days of stressing myself out, have I done that before? Yes. Yes. But I don't just pass it over to one of my other tutor friends. No, 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 no. They're my friends. I don't pass trash over. I give quality to people. I don't give people that, oh, they were late with their payments. I understand things are tough. It's called communication. But if it's a consistent thing and they just act like they want to get champagne service when they're giving you Boone's Farms, if you don't know what Boone's Farms are, just do your research. Okay. It's completely different. You have to understand that this is your business. This is your mindset. You have to go with what you want to do. So that's number 1. You have to transition from that teacher to tutor mindset. This is your business. This is where you got to go. All right. So, hey, Matthew, how are you? Um, the other thing is knowing your target audience. Who are you talking to? Who are you trying to connect with? Because you won't be able to get people to purchase your services if they don't get to know who you are. So, as much as you want to get to know them, they have to get to know you. They have to see you. They have to exchange words with you. Okay. So, looking at those pain points, meaning what are parents feeling? Because that's who you're really talking to, just in case you're not sure. Okay. Looking at the parents, okay, talking to directly to them. I know what you're going through. Like with my friend Kathy on, I think she's on Facebook right now, looking at the kids with dyslexia. Because we actually did a activity that really showed the parent what the child sees when they're trying to read a sentence. And to see the parents like, that, they couldn't read it. And I will never forget, I forgot the kid's name, but I'll never forget how he felt when he finally got it. He was like, finally, someone understands what I'm going through. That's what happens when I tutor. Finally, someone can break this down to me. Now I get it. Finally, it's clicking. All I had to do was think of this. Why didn't my teacher tell me? Those are the moments that fuel me. Those are the moments that keeps me going. And this is what helps with Kathy. And this is what helps with Team Bear. Thank you so much for everything. And this is what happens so much for Lynette. And this is what happens with Heidi. And this is what happens with a lot of my other tutor friends, Natasha and Jasmine and Evan and Mark and Michael. This is why a lot of people left the classroom so they can actually learn to teach again. Whatever sparked them to get into that classroom is now relived again because they're doing it online and they're doing it with kids that want to learn and want to achieve. So, by talking to your audience, looking at what those parents are going through, what those kids are going through, and basically addressing it. So, with you knowing and being clear with your message, now you can talk about what are the necessities that I need. You need a computer, you need internet, you need a payment or a scheduling system, some kind of platform. You know, you can do Calendly if you want. You can, and payment information will be Stripe. It will be PayPal. I use Stripe personally because PayPal and Square we don't want to discuss because that's a little too expensive. But then also you need a communication platform like Zoom. Invest in paying for Zoom. Don't make your clients have to sign back on to Zoom. Stop. Okay. So you got your Zoom, you got your Google Meets, you got your Teams, Microsoft Teams, whatever you want to use. Any place that you could actually do the video conferences. A lot of people like Koala Go. A lot of other people are looking at other things like Pencil Space, and there's other places as well because there have a lot of people that are doing like all-in-one platforms that you can do your scheduling, you can do your payments, you can also go live, and you also have resources. So there's always like a new one every week or every 2 weeks for me that I keep seeing. So you definitely need to have just the basic necessities. Hi, Miss Wanda. Okay. So you just need like the basic necessities. Notice I haven't said a website yet. Okay. You're going to need one eventually. Yes. But when you first start, you're not going to need a website right away. Maybe a landing page. You can easily do one on Canva. Okay. You can do a nice landing page. We'll give you your contact information. And then you can have maybe your contact form so parents can fill out so you can get an idea about the kid before you even start talking to them on a meet and greet. So that would be number 3. Okay. Hey, Dougie Fresh. um, the fourth one is the onboarding process. So, how are you going to talk to these people? What are the boundaries? You have to set boundaries for these people completely. Okay. So, you need a terms and conditions, maybe even a contract. Some people like to put a contract in, but I feel like that's mostly for payments and just basic things. Terms and conditions, I can go a little bit deeper. This is how I want to get paid. This is how the process is going to go. This is how I want like copies of the kids' stuff so I know what they need assistance with. So I can give supplementary income. Another thing will be like, this is how my payment process is going to be. What days am I available? How to double check for availability? How to get reminders? All of that is in my terms and conditions. It must be done. If you don't start with anything, do that. Terms and conditions you definitely need. The next part is for the onboarding is what are you going to say when you have your first caller? You finally get someone that's interested in your business. What are you going to say? What journey are you going to take them on? Is it just going to be a straight email, or are you going to have people come in, have a phone call or a text, and just say, hey, when are you available to chat? You figure out a date and a time. Try to keep it in the same day. That would be great. And then you sit and listen. Basically, what I say is, how can I help you? And I sit and listen. I do not say a word. Okay. I don't say one word. I just let the parent do most of the talking. Then I have a meet and greet. I have a meet and greet with the parent and with the child. And then I do some work with the child. Give them some time later on that night to say, hey, what would you like to start? And have a calendar ready with my dates and times. When am I available? So you don't have to think about anything. So that's my onboarding process. Just try to keep it simple. You know, if you try to do more, it's going to be too much. And then number 4, marketing. Everyone's afraid of this. So let me keep it simple for you. Ready? Just tell everyone. Everyone that you know, friends, family, former coworkers, your professional development best buddy that you only see like once a year every time you have professional development. You got school counselors. You can go to your local bakery. You can go to your local Panera Bread, wherever you normally go to get your coffee. You can ask if you can post a flyer, any place where people are standing. So you want to go to those things. And I've actually gone to my local government council, local government officials, and talked to them because guess what? They got kids. And I know they should be busy. And I've asked it. I actually tutored one of my government officials' kids because I just went out and said, "Hey, I see that you have a kid that's in high school. Um, do you need a tutor?" There you go. Got him. That's all you have to do. Another person found me in a barbecue pit place with one of my flyers. They're out there. You have to put in the effort and go after what you want. You need clients? Post yourselves out there. Put yourself on social media. Stop being scared about social media and put out good content. Show who you are. And that will attract the ideal clients that you want. If you put out trash, you're going to get tough clients. It's that simple. You know? And sometimes it takes a long time for your ideal clients to find you. So you have to be consistent. You have to put yourself out there. So it's almost like you have to talk to almost 1,000 people just to get 10. And I know I don't want to talk to 1,000 people individually. So that's why I do social media. That's why I come on live. Last week I came on live and guess what? I got a new client. And it wasn't for my tutoring program. It was from me to tutor their child. So it just seems like, true story, a lot of people want to do tutoring and they get scared about the marketing. And what they do, they go to a lot of these third parties and they get paid $10, $15, $25 for an hour's worth of work. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, the parents are paying almost $100. You're not even getting a fourth of the money. So if you're going to do it, why not put your full self in so you can get your full payments out? I'm just saying. So, hey, Evie. So it just seems like if you do need help with the guidance, because it is, learning while doing is terrible. It's exhausting. It's just, you want to rip whatever hair that you have completely out. Okay. But if you have somebody to guide you through it, to walk you through it, and to like give you a community of other people that are like, yep, I've been there, I've done that. Don't worry about it. Just do this, and you'll be fine. Then this is when you need to comment, yes. Yes, Audrey, talk to me. I know you talked almost like 43 minutes now, but talk to me, Audrey. I need help. And if you want, for those that came because, originally I wasn't supposed to be on at this time, but I might be doing this more often because I just got my alert that I have to go soon. If you are serious about tutoring and you just want to really kind of the days of try before you buy type thing, or even just to kind of like, I got questions. If you type in or comment the word yes, Okay. Comment the word yes. If you're serious, not just like, oh, I just want to see Audrey and chit chat with her. No, like seriously, you want to do the tutoring and you want to learn, I will invite you to one of my collab work days so you can see for yourself what goes on, what questions you'll have, and be able to have those conversations. So if you are serious about it and you just want to see it, just go ahead, comment the word yes in the chat or even like this. And then we'll be able to take it further. And I'll tell you when the next collab workday is, and I'll invite you to it so you can see it for yourself. Why not? You know, everybody wants to try before they buy, right? So, as I'm telling you this, I have to get going because I have to tutor. And it's great that a lot of you guys came in here. Thank you so much. I know it's not the usual time, but I know a lot of teachers, you're going to be watching the replay or you're going to be catching me later on tonight at 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I'll be live on TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook. Instagram is just acting kind of weird lately. I don't know what's going on. Hey, Brooke. Um, but I will be talking further about this, really trying to readjust on this. But again, if you are serious about tutoring and you want to get things done and you want to come to a collab workday, go ahead. Just go ahead, put it in the chat, and I will see you guys soon. All right. So have an amazing day. Take care, guys. Thank you so much, Kathy, for coming in. Again, if you do need some assistance, if you have a child or you know someone that has dyslexia and you really want to get some assistance and guidance, definitely take a look at Kathy Kozino at the Happy Teacher. All right. Take care, guys. Bye.